Boadu, appreciate the African Voice International for coming up with this kind of brilliant idea whereby people will sit and share ideas and opinions, be it on a round table, be it on media, be it on emails. But the most important thing at the end of the day, we shall be in position to deliberate and share ideas and opinion that will be in position to transform the mother continent. I must say thank you very much to the organizers, to the presidents of African Voice International. And also to the rest, I would also feel very, very, very much interested and very, very, very much happy for you to join this program. It is through the ideas that we change the world. I am because I am, and because you are. Because you cannot be there when I am not there, or if I cannot be there when you're not there. So I am because I am, because you are. So it's a great pleasure. And permit me also to look at this look at this topic. Now, what change do we need to see from the global leaders? Now, when you talk about the global leaders, it doesn't need only one president who is in Ghana, one president who is in Nigeria, who in Uganda or Kenya or Saudi Arabia or in United States, but we are looking at the change that we need to see from the global leaders. Now, what do you mean? You know, there are so many fundamental changes that we need to go with and we need to adopt. And among those fundamental changes, one, the freedom of expressions, the freedom of leadership, the free and goodwill of people involvement in those kind of leadership. And then the new global changes we expect from the leaders is to how best can we bring the young generations to take up the lead, since for every country to exist, there must be important considerations of the young generation, and that include the youth, and that include the mother, the children, the fathers, the all, while guided by the principles of collective responsibility. And it is that notice that there are quite a good number. You see, look at them. When you go to the United States, what is there? When you go to Russia, what is there? Ukraine, what is there? Europe, Africa, and any other continent. Don't you think there is need? Those changes need to be whereby we all come together and say, please, let us look at the world from a positive perspective, while also analyzing this school of thoughts. Be it positivist, be a sociological school of thought, be it a realist, be name it, all different school of thoughts. We have it all. So can we now harmonize them and see how best can we be involved? Can we get involved and do all what is expected of us? Those are the changes we want us to do. So what do you expect? We want a change in political arena. We want a change in the in cultural arena. What is the culture of the people of Ghana? What is the culture of the people of Nigeria? And what is the culture of the people of Uganda? Are we all African? That yes. What do we have in common? We have most of it. We have in common. And then how should we implement and effect? It is that notice that we need to look at that. That you who is in different parts of the Africa continent, what do you need to do? What do you have to see that you are able to analyze? Of course, you have to be analytical in analyzing the situation that pertains and that runs all over the Africa continent. So it is quite prudent. I told you that I am because of you, not because of me, but rather we are to be governed and collectively determine and understand the principle very well. The principle of collective responsibility. And may I also take the opportunity to also allow my brother also, FG, Kwabena, to also say a word, and then we continue from there. My brother FG Kwabena.
Okay, thank you very much, Honorable Okot Eric Okidi from Uganda, who I normally sometimes have a mistake of his nationality, thinking he's from Nigeria, but we are all one Africa and we all belong to one race. I'm glad to be a part of this dialogue and to get to know what is going on and what is being transpired and the topic and everything I'll go on today.
Mm.
We'll be talking about what change we need to see from global leaders. And I believe this is a very crucial and quintessential topic towards the revolution that indeed the global anatomy needs. Because we need to ask ourselves, are our leaders leading the right way? Are they following the right paths? Are they leading the people in the way they should lead democratically? We need to look at all these factors. And if we realize that indeed they are ruling selfishly, individualistically, or parochially, then indeed we get to know that no, they're not leading and working for the freedom of the people. And we need to see to that indeed, wherever we are, under every administration we find ourselves in, we are under a democratically ruled government, whereby they lead based on the needs of the people, and not only on the needs of the people, but the entire and wholesome population and masses of the people, not a particular sector or section or fragment of people in the nation, but a whole national anatomy, every region, every race, every kindred, every clan, every district, everyone being included and everyone being seen to is what we need to see. And as global leaders, we need to know, do they meet together to talk and indeed bring forth pragmatic ideas towards the change we need to see? Or they just go on board and have G7 meetings, have world leader forum rooms, have various panel discussions, and just come back without not seeing any impact in the lives of people? What are the United Nations doing? What are our governments doing? What is happening? We need to see and we need to understand and assess their behaviors, their dispositions, and from hence know how to go about things and the kind of interjections we need to make for the change we need to see. So that's my contribution and that's my opinion for here. And I leave it to you, Honorable Okot. We want to listen to you and hear from you from what you want to say, what you have to say to us in this presentation, this dialogue. And we are believing to see other people also share their views in the course of time. Thank you.
Thank you very much, my brother. Those are the things we needed to do. We needed to look at that democratically right away, also going up to the grassroots level, not a matter of considering whole I stay in town and ignoring the people in the villages here and there, the clan, the tribe, the what. We need to look at them as equally important, meaning we have a role to play to preach the gospel to the people who still do not know the value of belonging to Africa, the sense of belonging as Africa, the mother continent. We need to do a lot by preaching to them, teaching them. That is what we are going to do. And I think one of the ways we needed to do is to come up with what we call the Pan-Africanism Clubs. Can go up from the primary school to the secondary schools up to the university. We are in the verge of opening up all those clubs. In Uganda, for example, if I can give an example, we have what we call patriotic club. Now, meaning you teach the people the sense of patriotism, the sense of belonging, the sense of togetherness. But then now they do not know much about the Africa. So there is also a time that we need to open up also patriotism clubs in all those schools, right away from primary. And then we also go to the secondary, look at the university student, looking at the applicability of what we normally study. Like in Uganda, we study the African history. The African history tells a lot. I came to know about Muammar Gaddafi. I came to know about Patrice Lumumba. I came to know about Amilcar Cabral. I came to know about Thomas Santos Sankara. I came to know about Julius Nyerere, Kwame Nkrumah of Ghana. All those ones, we came to know them through the studies of African nationalism. And that is a history we learned in school. But what is going to be the applicability of the history that we learn from school? It is not just a matter of us hearing that yes, Kwame Nkrumah was one of the leading fighters for the freedom of Africa continent. And you and I do remember that in 1957, when Kwame Nkrumah, when Ghana got independence, said that the independence of Ghana will be useless, but rather if the rest of the African countries are still under the colonial. That was so clear, and it was made clearly. And I believe as of now you're in Ghana, you are able to deliberate, and you can speak, you can talk, you can be a person to you care about Uganda, you care about DR Congo, you care about Cameroon, you care about Nigeria, you care about all over the African countries. It is what we will learn from our fathers. But then what is going to be the practicability, the practical perspective of it, of the European, the African nationalism we have learned? We need to preach the gospel, and it must continue. The struggle must always continue. So I think we shall keep on handing on from there. And Alex, are you there?
Okay. Yes, comrade, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Oh, proceed, my brother.
Okay, great. Okay, my name is Alex Maharaja. In short, I'm residing in Ethiopia and the founder of Africa Act now.
Beautiful.
That's all.
My brother, I'm so glad to hear from you right away from Ethiopia, the motherland.
Exactly.
I welcome you to this dialogue because we had a topic that what change do we need to see from the global leaders? That is the topic. And indeed, we started deliberating it from the wider view, the wider perspective, and we still keep moving on. Now it is the right time that I would love also to hear from you. What do you have in pertaining in particular to what we are discussing in as far as changes is concerned? So my brother, feel free.
Okay, thank you for giving me what to say. In short, what I can say, the world leader, specifically African leaders, should stop pretending that they are leading people, but some of our leaders are just puppets of Westerners. Our leaders are greedy, are corrupt. So in order to change that, we should, before we free others, we should free ourselves. Then free others. Africa is everything, a unity, a lack of unity. Look at from this, if I want to go to other countries, I need a visa. So we should break all those things which are hindering us in the progress. As you know, African Union is here. I don't know what they're doing. Sometimes I do imagine that African Union is just a lion without teeth. So as a Pan-Africanist, so we should come together with unity and love if we want to move forward as one. So without that, we cannot progress, we cannot move forward. So this initiative, like these things you are doing, calling meetings in order to brainstorm together, this is good initiative. In order to move forward, you should do these things as well, and more action needed in our continent. Thank you.
Thank you very much, my brother. You made mention something very, very, very interesting and very, 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 very important. Yes, indeed, you made say that the world leaders should stop pretending, and indeed, that is a very good statement. Other than trying to be a puppet, that is going to be that's one of the has been the biggest problem. But now it is the time for us to begin changing and begin looking things from reality. And the reality will be done through the love, the unity, and then you talk of the visas. Why should somebody really live in Ethiopia, coming to Uganda, you must carry visa? Why? This is the thing we needed to look at. Now, I think for us, what we needed to do, we need to effect what we call regional handling of things now. Like in Eastern Africa, we have the East African community, which I believe that at least they're trying, they're progressing well. And then we also need to hear what is West Africa talking about? Central Africa, what are they talking about? South Africa, what is there? It is the right time. We need to begin doing that. Then I would love to ask you, my brother, that African Union is in Ethiopia. I don't know whether you've taken an initiative of going to their office. Have you tried one time?
Yes, I've tried. I have even friends who work there, who are ambassadors at African Union. You know, I discussed so many things. I was invited as well during the Adua celebration, Ethiopia celebration here. We had a talk conference, and then the ambassador himself, the Ethiopian ambassador, told me, you know, because they know me, because I speak straightforward, and then he was telling me just, you know, just speak what is in line of African Union. You know, I did not want to embarrass him, you know, but when we are on a sideline of the conference, but I told him the truth that African Union is a lion with that teeth, you know. I'll give you an example. 40% of the budget or to 60% of the budget, either it's coming from EU or international donors, international community. You know, you understand? And the 40% is founded by other African states. Why don't they just be self-sufficient? I cannot help you and you tell me what to do. You understand? So this issue, yeah, you know, if you want our African Union to be a very strong institution, we should support each and every countries in Africa should contribute, you know, a fair amount, which we should stop relying on external donors, you know. They are the ones who we are fighting for. We are fighting like a neocolonialism and the other things. So why, when they are giving us that money, how you are going to say anything? Look at in the Security Council. We have no any representative. You see, look at Africa the way it is. I'll give you an example. Look at African Union. When they, in America, at the UN Security Council, when they are having meetings each and every year. Look at how many people attend when African leader speaks. Some of them they start standing. No, look at 1.3 billion people. Nobody who's representing us. You know, we've been talking. Isn't time?
Yeah, we need to begin brainstorming, and we put things right. We approach the AU that say, look, this is what we are doing now. We needed this and this and this. So I think what we need to do is to come up with the other organizations, which is in line, of course, to implement the AU Agenda 2063. I don't know whether you are in line with the AU Agenda 2063, my brother.
No. I'm not in line with Agenda 2063. Let me tell you something, comrade. You know, what are we missing now? Why don't we unite now? We should act now. Why don't we have to wait for 2063 in order to unite? What we are missing to unite now? The people who implemented this agenda, majority of them, they are not going to be here on this world in 2063. You understand? This generation, they're just giving big job for us. In order to unite, we don't need to unite tomorrow. Now, what we are missing, I don't know. We have everything.
So I think what I'm trying to say, it needs your involvement now. We need our involvement. We need to get in. You as my brother, as Freedom Giant Alex, my brother Isaac, my brother Lumumba, and me, we need to penetrate and also enter. They said, look, yes, your agenda is too beautiful. Now we want now to walk the talk. It is what you should be doing now, while all of us are participating to do. If we keep hearing them to do, we should be the person to analyze and
yes, hello?
Yeah. Are you going to get me? Yes, brother. Hello? Somebody getting me?
Yes. Yeah, no. It was a network. You know, sometimes network Ethiopia is very bad. Poor connection. Yeah. But go ahead, I can hear you now.
Yeah, so what I was saying that we need to get involved now. They came out with the agenda, and the agenda is very clear. But me and you, who is talking now, should stop talking, but rather we put things on paper and we said, you look here, we can help you implement some of these agendas, and here we are. Can you give us those? And we go and implement it. There we start from.
You know, comrade, comrade, I have been to African Union several times. You know, when you spoke to those people, they've, they are hesitant, to do things, because they are getting support from international community, EU in America, Africa, in the European Union. So it's very hard for them to implement what they have been taught to do very fast. So that's why they keep on saying 2063. Look at, they have bring one passport. Only 2 leaders I know they have got those passports. It was Paul Kagame. There was the opening in Kigali. It was the first president to receive that passport. The African passport, Paul Kagame. You remember that if you watch that? So, secondly, if you try to engage with these people of African Union, some of them, they'll say, okay, what you are doing is good, we love your idea, this and that, but to implement it, they just encourage you are doing great job, but when it comes to action, no one will come behind you. That's what I'm saying. So that's the problem we're having in Africa. I've been with them, I've even met, here in this country. I even met with Her Excellency, the President of Ethiopia. You understand? I met the Minister of Justice. I met the several people, several politicians who call themselves are Pan-Africanist. But the real Pan-Africanist should be in action, not just talking. No, just talk. We are not going anywhere.
So what is the way forward? What should we do? What is the way forward?
We need strong people who have heart, who are patriotic, who love this continent. You understand? Because we need to remove the rotten potatoes among us. No, we were fighting with Westerners, or we've been colonized, or they're taking our resources, because there are some people who are encouraging that, who are supporting those Westerners to steal Africa. Our black fellows, our brothers and sisters, they are doing that. They are helping those white people to steal us. Do you know that? And those rotten potatoes are many in this continent who are spying on behalf of Westerners. Understand? If they see one country trying to succeed, to develop, they try to bring chaos in that country. So in order to stop that, first of all, we should remove those rotten potatoes among ourselves. And then we should liberate ourselves. Then we should liberate others.
Okay. Very good.
So this is just not just general idea. I'm just giving. Even you have your idea, you have your inputs. Even others, they have their inputs. If we brainstorm together, we can find solution in Africa.
Yeah.
Why should we wait out the outsiders to bring solution in our continent? While we can bring solution in our continent. We have resources, we have a brain, we can do things on our own. Like I like the Mali. Mali now they have refinery. They refine gold. They have seen that company which refine gold. We should follow the same thing. Bring refining machinery here. Bring more industry in Africa. Imagine our raw materials. We are taking our raw material out in Europe. They refine them there, and then they bring them to Africa in a higher price, while the product is coming from Africa. Look at the gas. Look at the petrol. We have everything here. We just need we have everything.
So should I say that we needed a mindset change?
Exactly.
Mindset change whereby we shall be in position to offer ourselves and lecture.
Exactly. And then we should stop seeing ourselves as inferior. As black people, that we are inferior. You understand? We should know that we are we are capable of doing what those people are doing as well. To get the point. And number two, we should stop being greedy. We African people, we are greedy. We don't love each other. when you have something or you are blessed, you know, you want to suppress others who are behind you instead of moving forward as one, as one continent. You see, so we should tackle all those issues. Once all those issues have been tackled, then we can move forward. We cannot even spend 5 years. Our continent can be very strong, but if we keep on talking unity without action, more action, we are not moving anywhere, my brother.
So meaning we need to offer ourselves and we begin lecturing our brothers, and then the mindset change will begin coming right away also from the young children. As I talked, that we need to begin also going to those schools.
Exactly.
Primary school, your secondary school, and the university students, whereby they should learn the practicality and applicability of African nationalism. Some of them, they do not know, they just be there. And it is the right time we can join hands together. And if we are doing here in East Africa, we are doing it there from the Maghreb or the Central Africa or the Western Africa. We are all communicating together. When whatever is taking place in East Africa is the same thing taking place where? In West Africa. If we plan that, yes, today we are going to do the activities where in East Africa, Okidi is going to do this, and then in West Africa, they are doing this the same day. When we make a report, we push it to them. I think that would also hold water.
Exactly. That's also a good idea, good point. See, that's a brilliant point. You know, we need to teach the younger generation. You know, because this generation, the previous generation, which are going. They have no power to say anything, because the corruption, the greediness is in their blood. You understand? We need fresh, fresh blood who understand what the meaning of Africa. We should teach them to be patriotic, not in each and every country where they come from. They must love their continent, because first, when you love your continent or you love your country, you cannot allow anything to harm that country. You see?
No, cannot.
Yeah.
So I made an interpretation on AU Agenda 2063. I remember I vividly asked a question that in 2063, who among these African presidents who are still alive will be alive by that time?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
We start from there. And then after when I've analyzed that, I later ask, who is the youngest president of all if we have as of now? How old is that person? And then by 2063, where will they be? Now,
exactly.
Meaning there is need for the involvement of the young people. And that's where we need to come in.
That's true. Yeah, and then the same idea the same issue you raised now, it is a good point, because I haven't met anybody bringing that point. That's a brilliant point. We should start teaching the youngest. You see, when 63 is there, then they know everything, even if they not unite now. So, but my proposition was, what are we lacking to unite now?
What we are lacking is a mindset change.
That great. The other thing is we should we should build a trusted network among our country. Those people, there are so many people here in Africa, they call themselves Pan-Africanists. If I'm a Pan-Africanist, I'm a Pan-Africanist. If you ask them what the meaning of being Pan-Africanist, they're not going to explain to you, They just talk I'm Pan-African. Because maybe they understand because I'm a black and I was born in Africa, it means I'm a Pan-Africanist. No, it does not mean like that, So people, they're confused, So we need to build trusted network, strong network, whereby if which country are you from? Are you from Ghana?
Uganda.
Uganda. Oh, I was in Kampala last month.
Ha.
So you are from Uganda, you see?
Yes.
So we should build strong network among African countries, the trusted network. If we need our agenda to move forward, if we have a strong network, we are going to be heard without any question. They're going to hear us.
Now,
yeah, that's it.
Based on that, I think we need also to do what we call research. You know, that is where we lag behind. We have universities, we have schools that teaches science subject, and the children who are coming out to not only come out with theoretical knowledge, but rather should come out with a practical knowledge, who will at one point conduct the research, come up with something, develop the medicine. You see, even during COVID-19, we were importing the vaccines from other countries, and yet we have brilliant brains.
Shameful. Yeah, shameful. Yeah. But recently, I've watched I've watched in Rwanda, Kigali. They have they established a laboratory which will produce a vaccine in Africa.
Yes,
is ongoing. Yeah, they are constructing it, so it's going to be. It will start working in 2024.
24.
Yeah.
He's always pragmatic.
Yes.
So
yeah.
I think these are the things: school visitations, build trusted network, research work we needed to do, and then I think it's also prudent that we should be always conducting conferences whereby we can organize debates.
Exactly. Yeah, that's also a good idea. We should meet. We should not only meet on Zoom meeting and Now we should meet face-to-face meeting is also very important than talking on Zoom meeting on other issues. Face-to-face meeting is very important. I prefer that than Zoom. You see.
Now we can come and say, okay, we are going to be in Ethiopia, and if Alex, where are you? We are here in Ethiopia. Okay, fine. We are coming for 2 days in Ethiopia, and we shall deliberate on this and this. We invite those representatives from the AU come on board and listen to what
I have them. I have them. Some are my friends.
Please make sure
they encourage you. Yes. Yeah. They'll say what you are doing is good.
Yeah, you make sure you make me their friends also.
Okay. No problem. I'll give you the number of the African Union ambassador. Is Ethiopian. I'm gonna give you his number. I have his number, so don't worry about that. Networking is good, you know.
Yeah. Then Africa ambassador, maybe if Uganda, if you have, I don't have his contact. We need to get all of them on board.
Okay, I'll try to get the Uganda ambassador in Addis Ababa. I know the embassy. I know the embassy. I pass there every time, so I know the Uganda embassy where it is. So that is not a problem. Yeah.
Thank you. Any other idea? Because this is the thing, we are putting it on board and we need to put it on paper. We write it, then sometime we go and forward it before them. Like this is it.
Yeah, that's true. But the problem of Africa, they may receive it, read it, watch it, and they congratulate you. They say, "Oh, this is good initiative," but yeah, that's all. It will just go like that.
We are not stopping there. You know, for us, wherever we are started now, we are going to act, not just to stop there. We shall act and keep acting.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm also gonna, connect you with, you know, Maharaja. She has what called YouTube channel called Connect. You know her?
No, I really do not know her very well.
Okay, so maybe you can also discuss with her. She's Ethiopian, but she lives in Europe, in the Netherlands. So maybe you can have what call it talk, you and Isaac, about this issue. We finish that to speak now. It may help, Yeah. So she can she can put it on her YouTube channel.
Yes, actually, even what we are talking right now is so even okay. So you can broadcast it.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
That would hold much water.
Exactly.
So let us hear from my brother again. Thank you, my brother Alex. As we are still continuing. I know my brother also may be having some points here and there. My brother Isaac, are you there?
But I may leave at any time.
Okay.
So I think I have finished to speak. I may leave in a few minutes. Let me just hear who will be speaking now. Yeah.
Okay, fine.
Okay.
Okay, fine. So thank you very much. We've heard from our freedom giant Alex, and I want to also share some few silent points before we end. And my point is for us to function unitedly, not only as African leaders, but as a global anatomy. We must be able to cooperate and see ourselves equally in terms of knowledge, experience-wise. We must not be able to look down on other people. That's from other continents that are not in Africa. They must be able to see our African leaders as people of equal expertise who can be able to change the issues and the problems that we have in our society. But it all goes with our African leaders behaving prudently and working justly. Because whenever we see those kinds of aid from European leaders to African countries, they use them unjustly. And that's what makes and derails the kind of identity that European leaders have about African leaders. We have phenomenal African leaders like Kagame, like Kenyatta, like Boadu, who are doing phenomenally, like Adama Barrow, who are performing very, very well. But it's all about the unjust presentation of the resources that are meted out to them sometimes, not respecting some of these leaders, but to other leaders we have in Africa. And when we look at the human anatomy, we look at our body, we look at our head, our hands, our eyes, our legs, they all give wisdom to our function because every part of the anatomy has a respective function. So if one part, let's say the leg is cut off, it won't be able to perform, the body won't be able to perform as it used to be excellently. There will now have to be an adjustment. And it all lies and gives reflection and wisdom to the global anatomy. We are all one people, and we are all supposed to function cooperatively. And that's how we're supposed to be. Not function as a majority and as a minority body, but we're also supposed to function as cooperative leaders, whereby we all depend on each other equally and not see one party as a slave and another as the imperialist. That's what we need to end. And what are the causes for these kinds of unjust balances? It's all because of how we use our resources and what we use them for. If whites can begin, and European leaders, the G7, if they can begin to now adopt and bring forth African leaders into our various committees, if they can begin to treasure us just as they treasure themselves, and if also we as Africans can begin to now eschew being altruistic, eschew being parochial, eschew being individualistic, then we'll begin to see the change we need to see. We'll begin to see the kind of revolution we want in Africa. We'll begin to see that indeed there is change everywhere in every district of our country, be it in DR Congo, be it in Somalia. We'll see that there's a proper development plan. So whether you go to a village or you go to a town, wherever you go to, they'll all look the same because there's been a proper distribution of the management resources. So that's what we need to do. We need to be honest with ourselves as leaders. And that's how we can be able to be so handedly strong in the fact that when prosperity arrives, our nations not think again. Our nations will not be going to the IMF again. Because we have got leaders who have gone through the right channel, but they are very individualistic, operating on racial lines, operating on religious lines, choosing leaders who are not in their religion, operating on gender, on equal lines, and being very corrupt and biased. And that's why we are where we are. So we only think about how their part will be improved, how their clan, how their tribe will be improved, how their hometowns will be improved, how their names will be made a legacy, but not thinking about the long-term run of the nation. So you go to a country and the country has two different exact environments. You go to a country and you go to a place, it looks so beautiful. You go to another place, it looks just like a rubbish dump because there's been an unequal distribution. So when we all begin to respect ourselves and we begin to stop being individualistic and begin to be people who think about the needs of the entire place, then that's how I believe that indeed the global network can grow and the global leadership of the world in which we live on earth will be able to function well, and people won't now have to say, let me go to London or America to go and have holidays, because they can go to their village in Africa to go and have holidays. So that's my point for the dialogue. Thank you.
Great. What a brilliant ideas. And I wish we always keep doing all these things and we would be moving forward. I permit my humble and sincere words of appreciation to all of you for creating your time to share ideas of this kind. As you know, the topic that we have discussed, that what change do we need to see from the global leaders? And indeed, we have seen quite a good number of them. The Freedom Giant Isaac also raised quite a good number of points. Freedom Giant Alex Maharaja also raised a good number of points. And I strongly believe that even I raised a good number of points. And if we to put them together, we shall be in position to move quite a little distance. Now, my brother from Ethiopia, that is the Freedom Giant Alex, made mention that the world leaders should stop pretending. And you know, pretend is one of the worst things that a living human being with one eye, with two eyes and tongue should really subscribe to. It's not good. We need to do away with greed, corrupt, the puppetism. Those are the things which is killing us. Now, you also made mention that we need to embark into unity and love. That is what we should be looking at. And I really made mention that during 1957, when Kwame Nkrumah struggled and got the independence of Ghana, he made mention that the independence of Ghana will be useless if the rest of African member states are still under colonial rules. And indeed, his word has come to be reality. And therefore, we need unity, we need togetherness, we need love. That is what we should be looking at. We also made mention that why should somebody put a visa? Why? Mr. Maharaja should leave Kampala and goes to Ethiopia freely. Actually, even from Ethiopia to Accra, Ghana, from Accra, Ghana to Kampala, Democratic Republic of Congo, without any restriction and border, as if we have got different kind of colors in here and there, and our blood is always red. That is what we should be thinking of. And my brother, thank you very much for doing that. And then we also said that we need people who are patriotic enough, not just a matter of saying, I am a Pan-Africanist. No, but do you have Africa at heart? Do you look at your brother from reality? You know, I always give an example that God created us. Now, he gave us the mouth, and in the mouth, we have the teeth and the tongue. And on several occasions, when you are eating, you are trying to eat cassava, or you are trying to eat millet, you are trying to eat sorghum, you are eating wheat, you are able to bite your tongue. The teeth has ever bitten the tongue several times. But is there any single day that the tongue said that I no longer want to be with the teeth anymore? Never. But rather, they will always forgive, because you can even see the tongue could even bleed. But still, they compromise and they forgive one another. They say, okay, let's continue staying in harmony. And you're, I always say that when the God created, who gave you two eyes, left eye and right eye. The left eye has never seen the right eye, and the right eye has never seen the left eye. But when it comes to shedding tears, they all cry together. That is the spirit of togetherness. So we need to be together. And then my brother said, talk of removing the rotten potatoes. the mindset. We need to come up with a mindset change. Stop seeing ourselves as inferior. Stop being greedy. Stop being individualistic. You should really look. If my brother Isaac is in Ghana, you should not only look at yourself and a Ghanaian that these are the all African. No. If my brother is in Ethiopia, you should not only look at the Ethiopians only that these are the only people that we have. No. If Okidi is in Uganda, you shouldn't only look at that. Do you know what? I am only from the Pearl of Africa, the beauty of all in Africa, and that is Uganda. No. We should have the sense of belonging. We should be guided by the principle of collective responsibilities. Way forward, an action plan that we needed to do. We unanimously agreed that for us to bring a change in the mind of the citizen of this continent, we should begin focusing direct to the grassroots while looking at the young people. The young people are in schools, right away from primary school, secondary school, university, and tertiary institutions, to preach to them the spirit of Pan-Africanism and the sense and the spirit of sense belonging. Visitation of school, we need to embark on it, and I think with immediate effect, we shall not just talk, but we shall walk the talk. We said we need to build a trusted network, not a pathetic one, not a psychophanistic one, not just a parochial one, not just a naive one, but rather a trusted network that when we are communicating and we are talking, we talk on one common agenda, and when we come to implementation, we implement together. We also talked about that we need to do research, because research is the one which brings the transformation. We are relying, we have been seeing, we are importing vaccine from the European world and the American and the like, simply because they have better technology that we do have. And yet we have all those resources here in Africa, and they come and loot from us, and then they bring us something which is more expensive. We need to avoid that. We also made mention that for us to deliberate and to implement the activities, there is need for us to call for the meeting, and we sit on a round table. While I'm seeing the face of my brother Isaac, I'm seeing the face of my brother Alex. Alex is also in the face of his brother Okidi. We sit together, we talk together, we laugh together. That would be done, and that can be done through conferences. And the conferences we can also organize for debates. Debate is very good at articulating people's brain. You keep developing. That would work much better. Otherwise, I must say thank you very much once again for us all. You remember the African Voice International is always looking at it from the wider perspective, but not from the narrow perspective. I will always also stand that united we stand, we divided we always perish or falls. And then the unity of Africa is what we want, is what we should be looking at. Otherwise, once again, I appreciate my brothers Isaac for initiating it. I appreciate my brother Freedom Giant Alex for being with us. I must say thank you to you all.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.